This is the advice for dealing with your family at the holidays from Robert Reich III.
Holidays with the family are great, but they can sometimes be complicated. Happy holidays, Uncle Bob.
What's good about them? I'm paying too much in taxes to support poor people who are sitting on their duffs.
Good old Uncle Bob. Sweet man. Wrong. Here are some suggestions to help answer the favorite arguments of the Uncle Bob in your holiday gathering. Actually, Uncle Bob, the top tax rate, which I assume you're paying, is just a little more than half what it was for 4 decades before 1981. And only a tiny percent of your taxes go to the poor. By the way, the poor are working harder than ever, often 60 or 70 hours a week in more than one job.
But they aren't paying any income taxes.
You see, he just wants to talk about income taxes. That's a trick. What you need to do is talk about the total tax burden. Actually, Uncle Bob, they're paying a higher share of their incomes than you are for Social Security, state sales taxes, property taxes, user fees, and tolls. Add all these up, and the entire bottom half of Americans is probably paying a higher tax rate than you pay.
No, they're not.
They're not.
He's still
not even close.
No. Now, he did qualify it with probably. So I guess he gave himself an out right there. He said it's probable that they're paying that.
Yeah.
No, he's using that Saws and Zuckman study that was debunked even by the Washington Post, talking about how wrong this was. I brought some of the figures. He's still doing this. It's amazing. And one of the things that they brought up was that they actually included the Social Security contributions in those tax rates. And the author I was reading was saying, well, that's not even fair anyway, because that's not a normal tax. That's actually a payment towards a direct benefit that you're going to receive later on in life. That should be treated more as like a retirement thing that you're paying for. You're going to receive money back. Anyway, even when they do it with in the Saws and Zuckman study. And sure, the lower percentile people, they're paying higher amount of total tax, effective tax rate than the people that are in the top bracket, like Bob. Except they also did not count the earned income tax credit. The fact that those
people who are making money.
The people actually make money, or all the money that they paid in taxes actually just goes back to them. Maybe they didn't make money off of it, but they all get it back. That's not included in the study that economist Robert Reich is saying that you should respond to your wacky MAGA uncle when he says that they're not paying any taxes. He wants you to cite faulty statistics that even the Washington Post said, and Forbes and several other Wall Street Journal, all of them said were total BS statistics because they didn't count what people end up paying after the earned income tax credit. But those are the ones you're supposed to use.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't like negative numbers, Nate.
No.
We got to stop at 0.
He also says something like, you're probably paying a higher, so taxes. He said, well, actually, they're not. They're only a quarter of the rate that they used to be, before 1980. Like, that even matters, first off. The fact that they were super high in the 50s or whatever. You know how many shits I give? It's less than 2, and it's even less than 1, okay? I don't give any of them about it. But when you look at the average effective tax rate of the top 1%, even with the crazy high 90 billion % that they were taking, it's barely gone down from 42% down to 36.4%. This was in 2010. I'm sure it's down to 10% now, right? It's probably what's happened. No, it barely moved down afterwards because no one was paying that top tax bracket.
No one was paying 90%.
No, it was over $200,000 in the year 1955. You could probably count the people that were paying that on one hand and Charlie's dad's feet.
Because he doesn't have any.
Okay, sorry. Let's go back into it. Robert.
But if the government taxes people like me, the economy suffers because we're the job creators.
Every holiday I hear about this job creator stuff. Even Uncle Bob, if he thinks about it, brilliant businessman I'm sure he is, knows that he only hires people when he has customers. Actually, Uncle Bob, the real job creators are the vast middle class and the poor, whose spending motivates companies to add jobs. Without customers, there'd be no jobs. That's the real economic problem. The wages of most people haven't gone anywhere for 35 years if you adjust for inflation. Most of the economy's gains have gone to the top 1%.
The problem is labor.
Job creators, Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
The customers are the real job creators.
They are. Without the customers, how are you going to have a business?
Did you want to go open the door? I bet you there is a line of people out there wanting to give us some money right now.
Mm-hmm.
I bet there are.
Yeah.
A bunch of them. We need to let them in. That's kind of rude keeping them out there.
Just, all the customers of Apple knew they wanted an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Before Apple even created one.
They all got together. They had a vote. They kicked around their ideas a bunch. They got in a group of some kind. And they're like, you know what we want? And we want this company over there that makes these weird giant computer things. We want them to make this device, to put it, a smartphone, put it in your hand. And it was because the customers got together and voted to have that. That's the only reason that we ever got it.
Yep. The products, they don't come first.
Mm-mm.
The customers. You have to have customers. Now, obviously, you need people buying products, obviously, to have an income. But you have to invest in the products first before people know that they want them or need them. It's the chicken and the egg.
It's the chicken or the egg, only we literally have an answer to this one. You cannot buy something that has not been created. So it's chicken or the egg, except you can actually trace this back to how it started. And I'm not going to walk out the door and someone's going to hand me a bunch of money when I go out there and say, make me a product so I can buy it from your son.
Right.
That's not what's going to happen.
No.
These people are so fixed in the right now, they cannot imagine new businesses being created. He doesn't make any effort to think about new businesses being created. How does that happen? New jobs. He's only thinking about the current businesses that exist right now. That's it. And if he were running the economy, we'd still have A&P grocery chain, and we'd be ordering shit from Sears and Roebuck catalogs, and we'd all...
Bell South or Bell, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is.
We'd all have Bell South landlines.
They don't think about new things ever, and it takes someone investing to create
Amazon
that.
has always been here.
Just
Since
always.
the beginning of time. You've always been able to get 2-day shipping. So...
Okay.
Unions.
If they criticize unions, tie the decline of unions to what's happened to middle-class incomes. Actually, Uncle Bob, unions built the great American middle class of the 1950s and 60s, giving workers bargaining power to get a fair share of the economy's gains. But because union membership has plummeted from a third of all private sector workers then to fewer than 7% now, the median wage has been stagnant and the middle class has been shrinking.
So, I suppose
He throws out every stupid foul. The middle class has been shrinking. That's like a favorite thing that people like to say. Why, Charlie? Why is the middle class shrinking?
Probably from trickle-down
It's all trickle-down economics.
That's why.
No, because they're moving up into the higher classes.
On average.
You can track this on average. Not everyone, clearly. Okay?
Some
Middle
of them go
class is
lower,
shrinking.
but-
Some of them go lower, but mostly it's people moving up into the upper class. Whatever you call that. Upper class?
Upper middle class.
Seems weird. Higher class? Lower? I don't know.
The upper middle.
you want to raise the minimum wage, too.
Be ready for this one.
That'll mean fewer jobs, because with a higher minimum wage, employers will substitute machines or send the jobs abroad rather than pay people more.
Actually, Uncle Bob, research shows a higher minimum wage creates more jobs because people spend most of their paychecks in the local economy, thereby fueling job growth.
I had to fix it.
And it's also good for employers because it leads to more loyal and reliable employees and less turnover.
You know what you are? You're a socialist.
Pause there real quick. We've got no studies show that a higher minimum wage, that's actually doesn't create any job loss whatsoever, right?
It creates more jobs.
More jobs.
Yeah.
It's not even like the actual CBO itself or the Bureau of Labor, any of them, when they talk about the minimum wage going up, they literally account for people losing their jobs when that happens. Like they say it's going to happen. But they're actually saying it's going to create more because it's this Keynesian idea that where you're going to get people more money and they're going to spend more of it at the businesses, so the businesses will have to hire more people. It's this whole idea of me taking this surge protector and plugging it into itself, and that's how we're going to run this computer, which is actually not even plugged in right now, I guess, because I forgot to plug it in down there. But anyway, it doesn't matter because it's a MacBook and it hasn't gone dead like the other one.
It's got 80 hours.
It's got 1 billion hours.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's the whole, unlimited credit card. If this were true, if you extrapolate the idea all the way out, and if it's true, we've gone over this a million times, you just give everybody an unlimited spending amount, and the economy would grow so fast
Why 25?
overnight.
Why 30? Why not 50?
Yeah.
Why not 100? If the more you raise the minimum wage, you don't have any job loss, you just have more jobs, then why are we talking about 15 or 20 or
It
25?
creates more jobs because people have more money to spend at companies, and companies take in more profits, therefore they create more jobs. We just need to keep increasing it. The minimum wage should go up every hour.
It should.
Every
just
hour.
like in just like in the Weimar Republic, you know?
Goes
Yeah.
up every hour. And then everybody would have billions of trillions of dollars, and we would be like, it would just be magical.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense, man.
They start the ad hominem attacks.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
won.
Sorry.
Once they start the ad hominem attacks, you've won. No, Uncle Bob. I'm just interested in facts, not labels.
By the way, we missed that.
Said you're a socialist.
He called him a socialist. And Robert Reich says that once your opponent starts ad hominem attacks, you've won the argument. Now, I can scroll through Robert Reich's Twitter feed right now, probably find 10 times he called someone a Nazi in the last day or so, more than likely. The gaslighting, what is it about gaslighting? Just gets you so worked up, you know?
And then he also said, no, I just like facts. What facts? What facts?
I want to punch him in the face, but they've always said it's not good to punch down.
Yeah.
Don't choke on your apple pie, Uncle Bob. Or in the spirit of being hopeful around the holidays, this may happen. Name calling will get you nowhere, Uncle Bob. You know, we have much more in common than it seems. You care about America. I care about America. We all want a stronger economy. We're all worried about money in politics. We want to leave a better world for our kids.
Oh, God.
An inequality media production.
Just wonderful.